I'm going to tell you my experience of the Tractor Supply Company, or TSC, Farmers Market for 2023. It happened, at least in my area, August 19th, 2023, this past weekend. I went to the Adrian, Michigan location. I signed up. Originally when I signed up, they told me it was going to be 9 to 4. Luckily, I accidentally deleted the email with all the information, contacted TSC the day before saying, oops, sorry about that, can you send me the information again? Well, I found out it was 11 to 4. So that right there told me that it was probably going to be pretty disorganized. Now let me back up here and say, originally I found out about the TSC Farmers Market not through anything TSC did, but a friend of mine attended one year, and I wanted to get in on it. And so she told me to contact TSC, so I did, and they put me on their list for the next farmers market. That next farmers market, when they sent me the email, I applied, and apparently I didn't get accepted. And so this year I applied again, got accepted. Well, I show up. They said setup was at 11 and start time was at 11. Again, telling me they don't know squat about farmers markets, even though apparently they had been doing this for years by that time. Your setup time is not supposed to be your start time. That's chaos. So anyways, I showed up about 5 minutes to 11. I didn't see anything set up. Now the email said the tables would be set up, and the farmers market, whatever they call it, supervisor, whatever, would be there waiting. Again, showed up 5 minutes to 11, no tables set up. So I went in the store, I said, this is a farmers market today. Didn't see any signs of any farmers market, nobody there, no sellers, vendors, whatever. The store cashiers said, yeah, I think it's supposed to be today. And so they called the farmers market supervisor up to the front. They said, oh, well, he's busy, he'll be a few minutes. And so I waited a few minutes, and I said, is the farmers market today? He said, yes, you're the only one who signed up. And so I said, I don't see any tables. Do you have tables? He says, yeah, I do have a few tables in the back if you want me to set them up, but only a few. And I thought, that right there is telling me this is a sham. This is a joke. They don't want me here. So I go outside, nothing's moved. The tractors, the fire pits, the barrels, the plants, the snow blowers, everything is just sitting out there in the front. So I have to go over to the side and squish myself over to the side where hardly anybody would be seeing me, and would not be in the main walkway, which means people are not likely to come over to see what I'm selling. And so I sat there for 5 hours in the heat, just really hot, sweating. I was stinking by the end. It was just bad. I was right in front of the handicapped parking. And there was only one person who actually came over to see what I was selling. And the person didn't own cats. And there was a couple other people that looked like they might have come out, but I guess they didn't want to look odd by coming over to see what I was selling. So they just stayed on the main walkway and went to their car, or went into the store. And I was mad, and the thing about being in them parking spots is some white dude, had to be a white dude, decides he's going to park his huge extended cab, dually, whatever, just most obnoxious white dude vehicle you could have, like right in front of me, right in front of where I had set up. And he double parked on them jagged lines that are supposed to be used for unloading wheelchairs. Yeah, he parked over that. And 3 inches from I had faced the other way because the sun was in my face, so I was facing opposite toward the store. But like 3 feet from less than 3 feet from my back. So if I turned around, his grill would have been right in my face. And he gets out and he's not even in a wheelchair. He's in a cane. He has a cane. And he just like has a bad hip or something. You know, he doesn't have palsy or anything. He just has like a bad hip. There's like, I don't know, 8, 10 handicapped parking spots, and he had to park in that one. I mean, the dude's just a honky. Just a complete dick. I hope he sees this video. You're a dick. So then that covered the front view of me, so nobody could see that that I even had a table there from the park. Nobody could see from the parking lot that I had a table there. And he just stayed there. You know, for like the last 45 minutes I was there, he was there with his truck. You know, while his truck was parked there, and he was just hobbling along with his bad hip or whatever. And he didn't even get anything. He comes out of the store, there was nothing there. He didn't have anything. So, it was, TSC needs to do better. This promotion they have every 6 months or once a year, I can't remember how often they have it. But it's just, they have a term for it, and I can't remember what it is. But it's just basically just words to make them seem like better people than what they are. TSC is a chain store, and it's taken over the small feed mills and the farmers markets and all that. And they just want to make it look like they're not by having this farm day here. And I mean, they can't, they're not even pretending at this point that they really want to have this farmer's market. It's just all a joke. And from what I've seen on Facebook, everybody, it seemed that it was pretty much along the lines of not every single store, but most stores were like this, to where, you know, they weren't going to move anything for vendor space. They weren't going to have vendor space. They were going to invite the vendors, but the vendors were just going to have to be squished themselves in areas that are obscured from view. You know, they weren't going to move any of the outdoor furniture or anything, the bird feeders or anything that they have out there for vendor space. So it's all just a joke, and I'm very disappointed. I will never do it again. I won't shop at TSC. I wasn't shopping at TSC anyways, because I do want to keep my local feed mill open. But I definitely won't shop there now. It's a joke. So anyways, TSC, do better. I'm going to hopefully try and send this to your corporate, just let you know. I did not appreciate that. Oh, and one more thing. As I was sitting out there, the morning supervisor, who was the one that was in control of the farmer's market, apparently, he comes out, he asks me, he's doing some work out there, he asks me as he walks by, he says, "Any luck?" And I says, "No, not a looker." And he says, "Well, at least it's nice out here today," which is the most whitest thing he could have, white malest thing he could have said. Couldn't have gotten any more honky than that. Because it was like 90 degrees out there. I am sweating. I am stinking up a storm. People wouldn't even want to come near me because of my smell. And he has the audacity to say that after he has me shoved over in a corner. Like, it didn't move anything for vendor space, for me to be seen by people. Now, that was before the other white dude parked right in front of me. So, probably wouldn't have done anything about the parking, you know, telling the man to move anyways. So, yeah, it was just a very bad experience. I expect low sales. I'm a vendor. I know how that is. But just total disrespect for the people that were setting it up. I mean, just letting you know right off the bat that they don't want you there. Yeah, that was uncalled for. Luckily, I didn't have to pay for the spot. I strongly suggest not to go to TSC farmers markets. There was no advertising for it for vendor or customers. Nobody I knew even that I had talked to about being here, you know, at TSC for the farmers market, no other vendors I knew even had heard about it. So they're not, TSC is not advertising it. They're not reaching out to vendors. And really what they should do is they should tell each location, store supervisor to market. You know, let them know what vendors are going to be there and outreach to their community to get more vendors. If we had a lot of vendors, then maybe people would have come over, even if we weren't in the main thoroughfare of the TSC walkway. Maybe more vendors would have come over, maybe more customers would have come over to see what the vendors had. But I was the only vendor. So they're not going to go out of their way and look stupid by veering off the main path to see what one vendor has. So anyways, do better TSC. That's my take.